everyone, and welcome. It's Stefano here on this beautiful, beautiful sunny morning. And yes, I'm still in Australia and having a fabulous time. The weather is absolutely glorious, and I must say, it's been a lot more consistent as far as summer goes than the previous years. So I'm really, really enjoying it. But today I would love to share with you this amazing, beautiful, true story, a love story, of course. What else? I love love stories, and being a relationship coach, I just am so intrigued as to how people meet and how they fall in love and stay in love and all those kind of stories. So everybody loves to hear a good love story. So this story is about a beautiful, beautiful man, a gentleman by the name of Stefano. And Stefano is a longtime friend of my father's. They both immigrated to Australia around the same time. I think he said that he immigrated to Australia in 1955 and my dad came out in 1956. And we went to visit Stefano yesterday with my father and my mother because he's a really dear friend, and we always catch up when I'm here in Australia. He's one of those elderly guys that just you love to sit down and have a good listen to their stories. And I've always loved being around older people as well, because I do think they have fabulous stories to share and tell. But yesterday we started this conversation. I actually asked him, how long have you been in Australia? When did you come to Australia? And he came out when he was about 20. Yeah, he came out when he was 20. And I asked him, how did he meet his wife, Maria? So her name was Maria. And Stefano is has unfortunately lost his wife 16 years ago to a sudden death. She had a stroke. So the story began. They met in the village. He's a Sicilian and he comes from Sicily, and he comes from a town which is in between Messina and Taormina. So I'm not sure if you know the geography of Sicily. It's a beautiful part. It's along the coast. It's on a mountain on top of a mountain, and which drops down, and you see the beautiful coastline of Sicily on the east coast. And he shared with me that he had fallen in love with his wife back then, Maria, when he was only 17. He had met her when she was 15 years old, and he had professed his love to her at that age, but Maria had said to him, I think we're a little bit too young, and being in the village, she was afraid of what people would say and talk about their romance. So she said, let's hold it off a little bit to at least to when we're 18. So Stefano agreed and said, I will wait for you. And so he did. So when he was 17 and she was, when he was 18 and she was 16, they announced their, I guess, the fact that they were together and courting. And, she was really happy, and so was he. But of course, in Italy, back in those days, the military was compulsory. So at 18 and a half, Stefano had to leave to go to do his service for his country. And of course, Maria was really, really upset. He said that she was fearing that he would leave and never come back for her. And he said to her, I will come back for you. I love you, and I will come back for you. Do not fear. So off he went. He did his service, and not quite sure, I think it probably would have been for a year or so. And they still kept in contact while he was away. And then when he came back, he was probably about 20. And what happened was, because in back in the 50s, life was pretty tough, work was pretty scarce, and a lot of immigrants, a lot of Italians were migrating to Australia. Well, whether it be Australia, they were migrating to America, they were pretty much migrating everywhere in the world. So Stefano decided to migrate to Australia, and he goes back to Maria and says, Maria, look, I want a better life for us. And before we get married, I really want to, be able to provide for you and provide for my family. And he says, I'm going to go to Australia. Well, of course, Maria was livid, wasn't she? She was like, that's it. I'm not going to see Stefano again. I could handle the fact that he was in the military and he was still in the same country and be back. But the fact that he was going so far away on the other side of the world, she really feared the fact that he would not come back for her. So Stefano said to me yesterday, he said, I told her that my word, that I would honor my word and my love for her, and that I would be back to marry her, and that I would marry her and make her my wife. So off he went. He decided to leave for Australia, and he did. He came to Australia, and of course, back in those days, they only corresponded via letters. So he would write back to her. And the story goes that he did work hard and, saved enough money for a house and everything. And after 7 years, he called for Maria. He sponsored her out to come to Australia as his wife. And he married her. So the story that was really touching was that, this couple, Stefano and Maria, that really, really loved each other and waited for each other and waited for the right moment. And of course, to me, it showed me that the trust they had between each other. And of course, not like today where we can just pick up a phone and, do a text message or do a video call. They had nothing like that in those days. But yet, their love for each other was so strong. Their faith, their trust, their honesty, and their being there for each other was so strong that Maria did come to Australia, join him, and marry him. And he just went on to, share, their life together, and then how he, surprised her and had the house all ready and bought a house because, of course, he was here for such a long time. And he said he had the best years with his wife. He had an incredible marriage. They had 3 children. The love he had for her, the love she had for him, the trust, the patience, and of course, he said it wasn't always smooth going, but it was beautiful. And what was really touching was, as Stefano was sharing his story with me, it was so moving because he filled his eyes. You could see he was like, his eyes were swelling up with tears, and the love just poured out of him as he told his story. So why am I telling you this story? I guess it's all about love. It's all about how we, really believe in love and believe in ourselves and believe in that other person and trust. I think, what really shone out in this story, apart from the fact there was so much love between them, was the fact that they trusted each other and they really sincerely waited for each other for that right moment to reunite and start their lives together. And it was beautiful. It was really touching. It was really heart-moving, and I just wanted to share it and to really share this story to say that love really does exist. There is a beautiful story always to be told, and I think we are in control of creating those beautiful stories. We are, the creators, and if we can always remember that and always put love first, between, you know, relationships, that is just the secret, the true secret. Anyway, I hope you like this story, and I invite you to share it with other people that you might think might like it. And I will catch you in my next video. Make sure to follow me on stefaniapoulio.com, and I will catch you in my next video. Sending you love and passion, and bye for now.